What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, I just want to go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all, the Rich Gang family, for always showing up and showing out. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, yes, I'm talking to you. Be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and do not forget to drop a comment down below when done. So as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, I had to get y'all right on a Monday. I hope you are having a great start to your week. I'm going to be bringing y'all the offensive oriented 4. And with this build, you're going to be able to break ankles, get contact dunks, and over 100 badges. So let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. The very first thing that you must do is put this build under the power forward position since it is a 4. Now, when it comes down to the height, the weight, and the wingspan, all of these are very crucial details about the build. So as we go along, just continue to do what I'm showing y'all when it comes down to this build, and I promise you, everything is going to work out in your favor. You're going to get the build name that you want, you're going to get the attributes that you want, and I'm telling you, with what this build comes with, you're going to be able to do a lot of special things when it comes down to being an offensive build. Now, when it comes down to the height on this build, I'm going to be going with 6'8". As for the weight, I'm going to go with 210 with a 7'4" wingspan. Now, if you feel like changing any of the numbers on this build, you definitely can do so, but again, you do also take the risk of changing up the build name and getting something completely different. So if that is something that you want to risk, go ahead and do it, but I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to go ahead and keep this build name that we got today very rare, probably one of the most, if not the most, rare power forward build in all of 2K on next gen. So let's go ahead and get into the making of the stats. As you can see, I'm going to go with an 86 close shot. As for the driving layup, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 82. I really feel like that's going to be solid. Then, when it comes down to the driving dunk, make sure you put this to an 84, but later on, adjust that vertical to a 70, so that way, we will be able to say that we are getting contact dunks on this build. Now, when it comes down to what this build is looking like on the finishing side of things, you're going to be able to get up to 31 badges, y'all. I'm telling you, this build really reminds me of a slashing 4, but it actually comes out to an offensive-oriented 4. Now, when it comes down to the shooting, go with the midi of 82, three-pointer of an 80, and right there, you're all going to be set. We're going to be able to get 24 badges out of this build when it comes down to the shooting. Then with the free throw, you definitely want to go ahead and bring that up just so you can be able to take this build into any game mode of your liking. Then, once we go ahead and get into the playmaking, this build definitely has to have some ball handle in it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, max it out to an 80, go with the 74 pass accuracy, and then the speed with ball, just to be specific with the badge counts. I'm going to go with a 69 speed with ball, but you can always adjust this to your own liking. Now, let's go ahead and get into the perimeter defense. I actually did see an offensive-oriented 4 build already, but the defense was not there for me, so I had to go ahead and make a few adjustments, and today, this is what I'm bringing to y'all. So as you can see on the defensive end, looking really solid. The only thing that we don't need to touch is going to be the interior defense, but everything else, I'm telling you, is going to add up really good, especially when you consider that we're going to be able to get 24 badges on the defensive end on this build. So let's go ahead and take it a step further. Once we go ahead and get into the physicals on this build, I am telling you, this build is definitely going to have everything that you want. You are going to be able to dribble, shoot consistently, get those posterizing contact dunks, and then play elite two-way lockdown defender defense. So, just one thing to be sure about. Make sure you keep that vertical at least a 70 or above. That's going to allow us to get the pro contact dunks that we wanted. Now, let's just go ahead and take a quick look at what the badges are going to be looking like once it comes down to the defensive end. From here, we're going to go ahead and move on to the playmaking. Y'all most definitely know that when it comes down to what you're going to be able to do with this build, the wealth is definitely going to be able to be spread out. What I mean by that is that you're going to be able to use a lot of different badges that you probably would not normally use, but I'm telling you, that is the best way to honestly make your shooting percentages raise, as well as find more success when it comes down to anything on the floor. That could be the defensive end, the finishing, and even the playmaking, y'all. All of these things are really taking a huge factor into it, and that is honestly why I always aim to make builds on next gen with over 100 badges, so that way we are always able to spread the wealth. Now, as always, feel welcome to change anything about this build that you feel like you would change to base it off of your own playstyle. I can only tell you so much. It matters more about how comfortable you are when it comes down to making these builds, because I can go ahead and show y'all the layout, but as long as you see something that you want to change, I would go ahead and take that risk, see if you still get the same build name, and if not, continue to adjust until you do. But as you can see, with these takeovers, we do get the shot creating, sharpshooting, playmaking, and then the rare post scoring. So to make this build much more versatile, I'm going to go with first ankle breaking shots takeover. The second one, to help out with the shooting, you could even go with limitless range. But honestly, to make this build a little bit more unique, I would possibly consider power backdowns or advanced post moves. All of these are really good options to pick from, but again, if you are more of a shooter, go ahead and pick the limitless range takeover. And as y'all can see, we have made the offensive oriented 4, and I'm telling you, the build is only going to continue to get better once you consider adding boost to this build, which is a +4. Also, run with teammates that are going to be running floor general and defensive leader, another +4, and then consider the takeover that you pick. That gives us a +10 to our shooting right off rip, because we did pick 2 shooting takeovers. But then on top of all that, if you decided to go with the post scoring or even the playmaking, you're going to get a +10 to that area of this build as well. So let's just go ahead and take a quick look at what this build is going to be looking like with all those things taken into consideration. So the first thing that I got to go ahead and take a look at is that the fact that in takeover, we're going to be able to get a 99 mid-range shot as well as a 98 three-pointer, which is pretty much a 99. We're just going to go ahead and call it that. But then when it comes down to the finishing, if you decide to go with the post scoring takeover, you're going to be able to get a 99 close shot, driving layup, possibly a driving dunk, and most definitely the standing dunk, as well as with the post control. Now, if you decided to go with the playmaking, you're going to be able to get up to a 98 ball handle on this build with everything taken into consideration. Then also include the speed with ball. I'm telling you, all of these things really matter, especially when you take into account the extra badge boost that you're going to be able to get, then also the extra attribute boost. Now, if you feel like changing anything other than what I'm showing y'all when it comes down to these badges, feel free to do so, but I'm just trying to lead y'all in the right direction. The setup that I would normally go with for the finishing would be first, gold posterizer. Then for this build, I'm going to throw on gold back down punisher. I love slithery finisher, and then also fearless finisher, just to get those contact layups more often. Now, you cannot forget about limitless takeoff. That is a huge essential badge. From here, I'm going to go with Pro Touch on Hall of Fame, a very overpowered badge, and then finally gold rise up. Now remember, if you want to go with anything other than what I'm showing y'all, you most definitely can. Again, this all comes down to your personal preference when it comes down to the badges, and I'm just showing y'all the type of setups that I do like to run. So for the shooting, I'm going to go with silver blinders, gold corner specialist, and then silver deadeye, green machine, as well as hot zone hunter. Now, you cannot forget about spreading the wealth for the shooting. That is why I went about it how I did. But now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. So, right here, I'm going to go with silver bullet passer, hyperdrive, as well as quick first step, and then unpluckable. You cannot forget about handles for days as well, and then also triple threat juke. That's the setup that I would run for this build. And now, let's go ahead and take a quick look at what the defensive side is going to be looking like. So, remember, we also have the potential to get +9 badges since we are in Season 5. Then on top of all that, you can throw those badges into any area of this build that you want. For me, I'm going to go with first, gold intimidator, as well as silver rebound chaser. Then from here, I'm going to go ahead and throw on bronze clamps. You cannot forget about rim protector, and then go ahead and pair it up with Hall of Fame chase down artist. Now, we have 5 more remaining badges, and there's honestly a lot of different things that you can do with these 5. So if you want to go about it one way, you definitely can, but spreading the wealth is something that I would really consider. Now, if I was to make one minor change to this build, I would really go ahead and change up gold to silver rim protector just so I can run Hall of Fame pogo stick. Then we have one final badge left over. This can go into any area of the build you want, but for me, I would really say that either box or tireless defender is going to make a huge difference. So this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. 24 defensive badges, 20 playmaking, 24 shooting, and 31 finishing for the offensive oriented power forward 4. And man, I just want y'all to know that I really appreciate every one of you coming to the end, watching it all through. I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Shout out to you, the Rich Gang family. And again, I just got to go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. I hope y'all are having a great day to start your week. Happy Monday. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, and yes, I'm talking to you, go ahead and turn on post notifications. Be sure to hit that like button and do not forget to drop a comment down below. I love y'all. I thank y'all, and I'm out of here. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.